Thank you for having us here today, this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Today I'll be sharing about our experience on utility scale solar development. I hope everyone can see my screen. All right. Okay. Before we go, I think the first slide talks about TNB Renewables. I'd like to introduce TNB Renewables to everyone here. Let me just get it right. Sorry. Okay. So this is what we are going to go through. We will be going a bit on TNB Renewable, and then we'll be talking about Malaysia's renewable energy journey. And then I'll be sharing our experiences, comparison of large-scale solar development model in Malaysia and elsewhere that we've been through. And then we'll look at challenges and opportunity, and then we'll wrap it up. It's approximately about 10 slides in total, and I think all the data's approximately about 8-9 slides. So don't worry, it's going to be a short one. I do expect question and answers at the end from you guys. Okay, our vision is to be a leading sustainable energy asset developer, asset manager in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. We realize there's although the market has become very interesting for Malaysia, especially since 2016, whereby we never miss year in, year out. Right now, the recent announcement, as mentioned earlier, we are already in the round 4 of large-scale solar bid, and I think we are looking forward for more in the future. But we realize Southeast Asia is an untapped market. So far within the region, Malaysia and Vietnam has been target sort of due to the robust program, government program. Vietnam has feed-in tariff going to be feed-in tariff 3, round 3 soon, and we are going to be in LSS 5 soon, hopefully, inshallah. So these are the drivers of our business. We realize solar is the main driver. For Malaysia, I think solar is driving the way, paving the way for renewable energy. We are looking at various of other channels besides LSS. We are looking at NEDA, we are looking at Green Corporate PPA, and at the same time, I think what we are doing now, we are building up a team to look at or to provide asset management services for solar and other renewable energy. The second thrust is secure small renewables. As everyone here is aware, I think the intention for us is we are not going to declare ourselves as a solar company, but rather we are looking at ourselves as a sustainable energy development company, more encompassing the whole portfolio of renewable energy. At the moment, I think we have biomass, biogas, mini hydro assets in our portfolio, and looking forward to also explore waste to energy in this portfolio. We are focusing on Malaysia and Southeast Asia market, and we realize there's also a very good opportunity within Southeast Asia, especially considering availability of wind in other parts of Southeast Asia besides our country, which is relatively zero or almost no wind potential here in Malaysia with the current technology. Looking forward, I think we are also exploring pilot investments, looking at RE or RE related technologies, especially battery energy storage, low wind speed technology, and hydro energy recovery. In terms of where I think Malaysia has come very far in terms of renewable energy. Back then, I think people were labeling renewable energy as alternative energy, and you guys have seen how we've come so far. Back in the 90s, TNB especially started research on solar, And we had the first, I think in Malaysia, we believe that we have the first grid connected in 1998, building grid connected solar, which is still up and running now in our Unit 10 campus, University Tenaga Nasional. And by year 2000, MBIPV program was introduced for houses and for offices. Renewable Energy Power Purchase Agreement for Grid Connect RE was also introduced. And I think I'm quite proud to be connecting the first grid connected renewable energy through landfill gas power generation, 2 megawatts of landfill gas power generation, collaboration between TNB and worldwide landfills. So the plant, I think by now has already approached its time. We probably have another year or two for the completion of the REPA. But that was the first grid connected renewable energy plant. In 2000, from 2011 to 2014, 2011 feed-in tariff it was introduced through the RE Act, which was passed in the Parliament. And the immediate focus was for solar PV, whereby lucrative tariff were offered for the early birds, early takers. And from that particular program, we see the growth in solar in the country. However, with solar costs reaching almost grid parity by 2014, the solar quota was discontinued. And however, for others, mini hydro, biomass, biogas, the quota is still there, and it's being done through bidding process by SEDA now. And by 2016 until 2020, I think we have never missed yearly LSS bid. So we have already awarded, including LSS4, if it's taken, around 2,200 megawatts, 2.2 gigawatts of solar capacity through LSS PV bidding program. So what do we see next? I think looking forward, distributed generation, which includes renewable energy, is going to be embraced more and more. We will see more and more introduction of such technology. We will see battery energy storage being commercially viable, perhaps, not more than 5 years down the road from our understanding right now. And battery energy storage, I think, is going to be a significant game changer, especially for the residential sectors, whereby people with solar rooftop on their roof will, be able to be grid independent, when battery energy storage is already commercially viable. So we are focusing on this technology as well and looking at business models on how we can offer this option to the customers. There will be more and more electric vehicles and clean energy development. But one important criteria that I want to share with everyone here, all this, whatever our success, Malaysia's success in renewable, is actually supported by regulations, cost efficiency, which is supported by good financing, as well as technology and digital. Of course, talking about regulations, we are not perfect, but I think we do, in a way, lead the way for ASEAN, as well as the region nearby. And I think one good comparison that we can talk about is when LSS1 was introduced, and a lot of players, including ourselves, were second-guessing the need for a detailed PSS study and a detailed grid connection test. We can say that it's almost very similar. Connecting a 50 megawatt solar plant, the requirements are quite similar to connecting a 1,000 megawatt coal or gas plants. So initially, everybody thought, this is quite stringent, and the regulators and the TNB on the grid side are taking this, over the board. But as we can see, what happened in Vietnam, I think when back in 2019, they connected almost 5 gigawatts of solar in one go, in 1 year. Then they were having problem to dispatch the solar to the grid due to the grid not being um, uh, ready for the injection of a high amount of energy, intermittent energy from solar. So I thought after going through that, I think we are very prudent. Malaysia might be looked at as slightly lagging in terms of embracing, renewables energy. But once we have it on board, I think we want to make it good. We want to make it ready so that the investment doesn't go to waste. So as much as we want to drive it fast, I think we are also learning and improving along the way, and we've seen those careful steps proving to be very good for the developers especially. Next slide. Sorry. So we have to. Okay. Next slide is comparing the feed-in tariff and the PPA models. I've taken out the merchant models comparison, but it's not very much different anyways, but we'll talk about that a bit more in the next slide. In terms of feed-in tariff, in terms of the capacity allocation, it's done based on quota assignment or pre-qualification. So basically, sort of a limitation of megawatts will be specified for a certain year. But as opposed to the PPA model, most of it through bid or direct awards. In terms of tariff, for FIT, the developer will know it upfront. It's a fixed tariff specified for this particular year. For example, we can say for 2021, it's 20 cents. So anyone connected to the system in year 2021, you are going to be paid 20 cents, regardless whether you come in on the 1st of January or 31st of December. So it's fixed throughout a certain timeline. For PPA, I think most of it is based on the submission. So we will be competing for the least cost, and also I think evaluations for this are basically not only solely based on least cost. However, other factors are also scrutinized. For example, land ownership and also the potential approval or interconnections requirement. Timeline, tariff is tied to the commercial operation date for FIT. So if they specify 20 cents for 2021, if you come in 31st December, you will still get 20 cents. But if you come in 1st January 2022, then very likely the price is going to be reduced. And timeline for the PPA, it's specific based on bid requirement, and most of the time for Malaysia's bidding, I think Suruhanjaya Tenaga specified the last date that the developer can come to connect to the system. Interconnection points, we've seen various models. I think we'll talk more on the next slide. And interconnection, both required interconnection to go to the main intake station. The FIT in Vietnam specifies the same, that we have to go from wherever our location of the solar park farm to the nearest main intake substation. In terms of the interconnection scheme, we have seen FIT in Egypt specifying quite a good move for developer, because they only required to connect or provide ready connection at the site boundary, and the rest the utility will take over. However, for Malaysia's PPA, I think we need to go direct to the substation. In terms of FIT, two different FIT models, Vietnam versus Egypt. In terms of land, for Egypt, it's allocated and predetermined, meaning they establish an area, a large enough area, and call for developers to bid for the site. As opposed to Vietnam, it's quite similar to the PPA arrangement in Malaysia, whereby developer will have to sort for their own locations and settle the land with the landowners. In terms of permits and approval, it's quite equivalent. I think we'll go to the next slide to look at a bit more in detail. Sorry, I'm not sure why it's doing this to us, but okay. All right, these are some of the few areas that we've been into before, some of our experiences that I think worth sharing with everyone here. Look at the program itself in Malaysia, in Abu Dhabi, UAE, as well as Saudi. It was a bidding program, large scale. Talk about Abu Dhabi and Saudi, the sizings are in the hundreds or even thousands of megawatt per site. I mean, obviously, because they have low value desert land. As for us here in Malaysia, maximum size per site, I think, was for LSS3, whereby they allow 100 megawatts per site. Lowest, I think it went down to 1 megawatt since LSS1. But right now, LSS4, I think we are looking at minimum of 10 megawatt per site, maximum 50 megawatt per site. So in terms of development site, for Malaysia, we have to go and sort for our own site. We need to talk to the landowner, either purchase or lease, and we need to submit proof of ownership or approval from the landowner to use the particular site when we submit the bid. For Abu Dhabi, the government or the utility there specified an area, a centralized area for development, similar to Egypt, also similar to Saudi. In Vietnam, it is quite similar to here in Malaysia as well as in the UK. In the UK, it's a bit interesting because they sort of integrate farming or farming activities to the solar site. So we could, be sharing same farm site together with the owner, the farmer. But you still have to work with the landowner for the site. In terms of development structure in Malaysia, it's a purely developer model, which there was a specified limit of minimum 51% local ownership. LSS4, I think, specifies 100% local ownership due to the drive by the government to make this economic stimulus program for the local developer. In Abu Dhabi, it's a combination of utility owing 60% and developer bidding to be part of the utility consortium for 40% of shares. I think we participated in this bid back in 2016. Just a week, the submission date was just a week before the submission date of LSS 1. And I think we learned quite a lot from this model. And also in terms of the design and optimization of design for this. And believe it or not, in Abu Dhabi back in 2016, the submission that we provided for the bid was, I think the tariff we were looking at 2.5 US dollar cent per kilowatt hour. This is back in 2016. Why we are able to achieve that is because number one is the economies of scale. It was a 1,000 megawatt plus size of development, and as well as there was relatively no cost for the land. The land lease was only about 1 ringgit per year, as well as the interconnection, whereby the utility set up the interconnection point just next to the development site. So there's always a plus and minus point, pro and cons for each development model. But I think part of why we are able to hear extremely low cost in the Middle East is probably due to the higher sun irradiation, as well as the model that they have there for the development. So Egypt, it's a developer site development program, and they are looking at development of 1,800 megawatt in one particular site, and what I think by now would have been the largest solar park in the world. Saudi was also similar. Vietnam specified local ownership of minimum 20%, and UK is also a developer model. What's interesting in the UK, because they are in a sort of a merchant market, and they do have incentives and a lot of very innovative arrangements for the solar development. Interconnection, Malaysia, we have to connect to the nearest substation. Abu Dhabi, the substation is next to the development, as well as Egypt, as well as Saudi. These are very close proximity interconnection. Vietnam is quite similar to us here in Malaysia, as well as in the UK. So permits and approval, as you can see, in the Middle East, mostly are already ready and provided for. But for other locations, it has to be the developer to sort of approval. I think it's doing it again. Sorry. Okay, challenges and opportunity. I think what we see as challenges always translates to opportunities, although there's a limitation of one bid per company based on ultimate shareholders here in Malaysia. But in terms of opportunities, we know that government is pushing for this, and we have a good, robust program already year in, year out. It's also a challenge to establish the interconnection to the main intake station. However, it's balanced off. There's also tax incentives provided by the government, and I think the developers has become very, very creative and searching for locations very close proximity to the main intake station. Tariff, I think you've seen movement from around 40 cents per kilowatt hour in LSS1 down to 34, 35 cents per kilowatt hour in LSS2, down to the cheapest 17 cents, or on average around 22, 23 cents in LSS3. And right now, I think LSS4, we've seen it went down to 13.99. And you know, it's almost, I think we can be assured of a sub 20 cent already by now in terms of tariff. So by having this very competitive tariff, it translates to opportunities, development in digital innovation, whatnot. And one challenge is in terms of cost uncertainties. As we know, solar cost, solar module especially, which is the bulk of the total project cost, is uncertain, and you know, most of the raw materials are commodity, traded as a commodity, so that's a movement. In terms of opportunity, at least here in Malaysia, we think that financing is available. There are very good offers by the banks and financing institutions. And also, relatively, I think we are looking at low risk investment for solar. And I think I've come to my last slide. In terms of one big conclusion item that I think we all can agree is large-scale solar is a viable option. By now, it's already reaching grid parity here in Malaysia and elsewhere in the world. It's a low-risk investment. There are a lot of investors out there considering right now the energy transition, whereby people are moving towards renewable, gas, clean energy, and financing scheme are widely available. Cost management is very essential, very competitive due to the competitive tariff and due to the competitive market. I think most developers are looking at adoption of digital technology to enable more or optimize the OPEX. And this is, I think, it's going to only make the market better with the introduction of new services as well as digital apps. And last but not least, I think in order for renewable to move forward, robust regulation and strong program is very important to attract investment. As a conclusion from us, TNB Renewable, we are keen to play an active role in development of asset and asset management in Malaysia and Southeast Asia, and we would like to be your sustainability partner. Thank you very much. These are my contact details. Please contact me should you need to discuss and if there's any collaboration opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusrizal. We will now open the floor for a Q&A session. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute your mic, introduce yourself, and proceed to your questions.